welcome to Wine Chats with Bildo and Lindelin. My name is Billy Milovanovic, also known as Bildo.
Not Lindelin. You tried to take my name last week. My name's Lindsay Kirkwood, also known as Lindelin.
Very good. Well, yes. Lindy, you always knew your name, so that wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to this offensively funny podcast about drinking wine and chatting life. I know for those of you who can't see me, I'm shaking my shoulders and Lindsay loves it.
Yeah, sort of.
Because Lindsay's so happy today.
I'm so hangry. Seriously, it hasn't been a good vibe. But that's okay. Wine will fill a void.
Well, also, I think it's the perfect mood for our topic today, Lenny.
Oh, yeah, marriage advice. Marriage advice. All husbands, fuck off.
Don't fucking do it.
Right? Stop being dicks. Episode over.
Well, yeah. We've just solved all your problems. Well, I also think, and I said this to you before we started, I was like, is it marriage advice for like married people or for us, like you and me? Because I feel like our marriage could use,
Well, I think that we're same.
Same, right?
I'm so confused by your stupid question, Billy. Don't piss me off today. God.
Honestly, not pissing her off today is going to be a little bit impossible. Yeah. But we'll try.
Well, I mean, we're both PMSing, and we're hungry. Yeah. Oh my God, you don't even know your cycle? Yes, I'm PMSing and we're pretty much on the same cycle. So that means you're PMSing.
Great.
Oh my God.
I am a little bit well, I'm not hangry. I'm hungry. You're hangry.
Yeah.
But definitely, again, you know what's really good on an empty stomach?
Wine.
I
know, that's why I'm like, wine will fill a void. And a void this will fill. Oh my God. Okay. New wine sponsor today. First feature of their wines, Mallee Estate. It's glary, so if you're watching, sorry. We are drinking one of their reserve collections. Sure. Again, after all these years, you would think we would know the terminology like proper, but we don't.
Just read
proper or properly. Oh my God.
Get some wine into you, please.
I know. So Billy's very excited. Brace yourself, Bill. Strap yourself in. It's a 2013 Cab Sav. Amazing, right?
Literally, I can't. I'm speechless. When somebody gives us an old wine, you know what I mean by old? Like it's been
a vintage,
bottled for a long time. Yeah. I just get so impressed.
Well, look, when are we getting a bigger studio so I can pour the wine accordingly? So Mallee Estate wines are located in, I need that bottle back because it's actually for my fun fact. Sorry. They're in South Australia. We've been getting heaps of South Australian wines lately.
We have.
I think I should move there or have like a winter home there.
Well, if we do move there, we have to go to Eleni's restaurant.
Yeah, Greek restaurant. Right. Super cute. So Pete, and Eleni, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right.
I think it is Eleni. Yes.
They're so super cute. They met in 1968, fell in love, got married, and started Mallee Estate Wines. They were so cute. So yes, we'll come for lunch, dinner, first day.
Lenny's taking me.
Lenny's
taking me.
I actually heard Lenny. I'm like, what?
Lenny. You and Insta captions both.
I know. Okay, let's cheers so we can
cheers.
Try this. We will be giving you our thoughts on the wine later in the episode. Oh, I'm instantly happier not to give anything away.
Do you know what else? The color is so rusty, this one. We haven't had like a really rusty colored wine for a long time, to be honest. Like normally they've been like quite magenta-y and, like pinky. This one's quite, like look at it, it's browny. Yeah. It's like a quite really nice.
It's brownie. Oh, guys. Delicious sounding.
Like Lindsay said, after all these years, you'd think would be a little bit more. I
know we're not.
We never will be. Burst.
Okay, Billy. This is super cool to me. And again, like what we just said, you'd think we would know some of this stuff by now. My fun fact is because I was reading the back of this bottle, preparing myself.
Good.
And I came across a caricature listed where I was, I'm going to drop my phone. It's fine. It's insured. That I had no idea could be in a wine. Like absolutely no idea.
I mean, we've had cigar. We've had, obviously your typical ones like chocolate,
gravel,
fruit. Like we've had
fruit.
What? Really? Fruit is in there, you guys. So you have your typical ones, but what could be not typical? I don't know. Balloons. I don't know, man.
Oh my God. Okay. So because I know that it's in there or a tasting characters in there, whatever, I'm like, oh my God, it is. Try and think of something Like it's a food flavoring. It's not like gravel or like
Right.
fucking sunset or something stupid. Like it's actually in there. Go. Do you get anything that's you're like, oh my God, this is weird?
I do, but I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it or my tongue on it.
Good one, Billy. Oh, where did it go? Okay, so the palate is generous with wild berries. Yeah.
Oh, fruit.
Yeah.
Oh, duh.
Peppermint.
I do
Peppermint.
get that. I was going to say pepper. You already fucking said pepper.
No,
but
peppermint and capsicum
Ooh.
character. Peppermint. I actually, in my little head, obviously, if nobody told me, I wouldn't be able to pick it, but I get it.
Yeah, there's like a certain freshness to it. It's weird. But maybe I'm thinking that now because you said peppermint.
Yeah.
'Cause
Mind
the tongue
blown.
yeah. Okay. Yes. Mind blown. We have, I mean, just you wait and find out what we say about this wine later on.
The back of my, I don't know what
Well,
is
Lindsay's
happening.
battling with her hair.
Oh, God.
Jesus. With her hair. A little bit of housekeeping. Please make sure you subscribe to our podcast. Please make sure you review us. We love reviews and we, don't get many. So please review us. Well, we haven't had a review for a while now. Please go on. If you listen to us, give us a shout out. Also, we are live on Instagram. Not today on Facebook, but generally on Facebook today. We've had some technical issues, usual. So you can watch us live 11:30 on Thursday mornings, Australian East Coast Standard Time. Is there a thing like that, Lindsay?
Eastern.
East.
What is wrong with you?
What side are we on?
East.
Western?
No,
East.
West? Are you serious? I can't.
I could not be more serious, you guys.
Can you,
So just 11:30 Thursdays, Brisbane time. Okay. Who wants to catch up first? I will start with the catch up because Lindsay's speechless. This week, I went out I didn't go out. Anyway, listen. I had some stuff to do on Monday night. I had to go out and I had
just
to
snotted out of my nose. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's fine.
Okay.
So I went out on Monday night and I was rushing to get ready. And because I hadn't had time to wash my hair was a bit of a mess. But you can always fix that, right? With just like having a little bit of layerage around your face, giving it a bit of a curl, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right?
Well, no, not always. He can't fix
Listen,
it. But
this
for
is
your
what
hair,
yes.
it could, yes.
This is how I roll. Anywho, but I didn't have any more layers around my face because I haven't had my hair cut in a little while. I needed a little bit of layering. And I'm like, I can fucking do this. I can do this. Look, 2 seconds. Chop a little bit of layers into your hair.
Can we
around
just
your
pause?
face.
Okay, just pause because, well, first of all, hello, the Pond Wine Co. We love you guys.
Hi.
Second of all, when Billy was telling me this story upstairs, I'm like, who the fuck cuts their fringe or their hair around their face when they're A, rushed, and B, about to go out? Like, what is wrong with you?
Me. I know. I asked myself the same
I have
thing.
no sympathy
Because
for
obviously you know what happened, right? I cut it too short.
The people live can see
I cut it
what
too short. So
happened.
the people who are live and the people who will be watching this on YouTube, hi. Also, can you see that? Yeah, like that everything is curled here like in one way, but then this little curl is just like
It looks better than
just
it did when
bounced.
you came into my house.
Oh, thanks, Lenny.
Yeah, because
It's
you
improved.
scrunched the crunch.
You scrunch the crunch, girl.
Look, I think you've saved yourself. Again, I think you're a bloody idiot to attempt to cut your layers when you're about to walk out the door. Even just
that's why you think I'm
general.
a bloody idiot? Just that?
Just for the moment.
Just that. Okay. That's it. That's all my catch up. I cut my fringe. Shouldn't have done it. That's it. What's up, Lenny?
My catch up is
Ooh. You got a new rug.
Oh, well, I did, but no. That's double. No, my mummy arrives.
Yes.
Look, 3 weeks still to go. Tomorrow she arrives. Let's start again.
Drop and roll.
As of tomorrow, it'll be 3 weeks until my mummy arrives, and I cannot wait.
Oh my God. I'm actually so excited. She hasn't been here in 3 years. How long has it been?
Well, at Christmas time when we go home, it'll be 4 years since I've seen her. So yeah,
Shit. Yeah.
like
so yeah, 3
three
years.
and a bit years I haven't seen her.
We can't wait to see you, Susan. We can't wait. I'm also going to see if I can get Lindsay's mum onto the podcast so we can talk about Lindsay without Lindsay being here, of course, because who wants that? Lindsay, you're not going to be a part of the conversation about you.
Oh, why?
That's silly.
I need to dictate.
Well, because
what is
her
that.
and I are going to agree on things that you're going to disagree with.
Yeah.
So why bother?
Wow, bashing Lindeland episode coming up.
Yes!
Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because you bitches
It's true.
will
It's
go
going
on
to be a
forever.
10-part series. It will be amazing. Join us.
Okay, I'm gonna grab my phone off the floor now. Carry on, Billy. Anyway, on. Oh, God. Jesus.
I can't do it without you, Linny. I just swallowed spit the wrong way. That is it in terms of my catch up.
Can I just, okay.
Please do.
You've been married for how many years now?
7.
Oh, right. I'm like, no, you haven't. But
we've been together for 17 years,
right. Yeah,
but we've been married for 7.
7.
Easy
okay.
to remember.
Okay. So we're very wise because Cameron and I have been married for 15, I don't even know, 15 or 16.
Well, let's just go from when you met. When did you meet? Like 2000?
Well, we got married 8 months afterwards.
Yeah,
so
well,
it's
that's
pretty
what I'm
much the
saying.
same.
It's the same.
So in 2005. So do the math, whatever.
17 years.
I don't, yeah. So we're very smart in...
We could have talked about this beforehand. You
Why?
established it.
The entertainment people are observing, Billy. Do we want to start with the advice? Because we have
17 years of good
marriage.
Of good marriage.
So we have lots and lots of advice.
We'll tell you.
Right? Mainly, we will tell you, husbands, how to and how not to act. What and what not to say. No jokes.
Is this an episode about marriage advice or husband bashing? Because I think
it's
a thin line.
It's a bit of both.
Thin line.
And if we're going to talk about husband bashing, can I just start out with, because I've been wanting to get this off my chest for ages.
Is this part of the catch up though?
No, it's about
Tell
husband
us next
bashing.
week. No.
It's tell us next week. No. Husbands and wives, to make your OCD perfectionist partners happy, can you learn how to spread the toppings of a sandwich to the edge of the bread? I cannot deal. Does it bother you, or are you annoyed with me?
No. How can you be a grown person? You know yourself when you were a kid, when the edges weren't buttered or jammed or whatever it is. It's the worst part of the fucking bread. Why would that should have extra layers on at the corners?
Right.
Who the fuck does that?
Cameron does. Sorry for yelling, people. Turn your volume down. I have had this on my list for ages of like things to bring up, talk about, whatever. I'm like, number one, whenever I see Cameron making a sandwich for the kids, I'm like, fine, if you want to make a shit sandwich for yourself, go for it. But when he makes them for the kids, I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, what grown ass human just spreads topping right in the middle of the bread? Like what you said, exactly. The crust is the worst part.
It's the worst part.
Add topping.
Yes.
But even if it was the best part, some people might like the crust.
I love the crust.
Spread it to the edge.
Yes.
So if you want to have a happy marriage, learn how to make a sandwich.
Especially toasties, you know, the ones that you actually like toast, right? Like jaffles.
A jaffle.
Jaffles.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
If you don't do the edges, it's not going to be juicy and moist and crunchy and delicious.
I don't really do jaffles. I do grilled cheese.
Why are we doing? How are we friends? God damn it. Anyway.
My belly is getting full of this wine. Okay.
Right. Are you in a better mood now to give marriage advice?
I actually feel better getting that off my chest about the fucking sandwich because it drives me insane. I am not going to lie.
Totally. Okay. Agreed.
What advice do you have, Bill? Because I've got a list.
Well, let's start with a story about how I've been... No, right?
This is how we got the topic.
Because...
Strap yourselves in, people.
Listen, I have a beautiful marriage. Everything's well, blah, blah, blah. But this is why, right? Because recently, I think I'm just, we've all been traveling with my anxiety and all that sort of stuff, trying to help me get over it, all this sort of stuff. So anxiety is like a thing that I think I have to almost recover from because I need to receive information in a different way. For some reason, it took Henry and I 17 years to even talk about love languages, which is so dumb because it seems like the most typical thing that everybody thinks about and everybody talks about. God forbid I looked up what the love languages were. You can Google it. There's 5 of them or something. There's like gift giving, communication, acts of services, that sort of thing, right? So I think when we started to like actually talk to each other about that, we just started to communicate a little bit better. But that also means that some of the like things that we've been fighting about over and over again over the years, the same thing that comes up in every marriage, for us, obviously it's sex all the time. Sex is a big thing that we fight about, as every married couple does. Not necessarily finances, but career is like a thing as well, because obviously I quit my job to start podcasting and do all this stuff. So that's been something that's like an underlying thing, I think. But then also, what was the latest thing? I literally can't even remember because we just had this massive fight.
Well, I could say, but I don't know how much you want to say on here.
I can't even remember.
About the timing.
To me.
Yep.
Oh, that's easy. We can totally talk about that. No. This wasn't about the butt plug situation. We'll talk about that. No, there is no butt plug.
Billy was totally fine with the butt plug. Give it to me, baby.
We were just hanging out and suddenly it was, whoop, there it's there.
Plug me.
That's not what happened. No, we Henry had this, we were going to have a kid-free weekend. And I just had a really busy month. You guys, I just started working. I'm a working woman now. But in all honesty, working, it just means that I wasn't like work fit, if you know what I mean, because you go from not doing any type of work or having to be somewhere on time and be home and blah, 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 to having to be somewhere on time. And so because I haven't been home on the days that I normally would, means that a lot of the housework wasn't getting done, shopping wasn't getting done like it normally would. It's a different schedule.
Yeah. And because, again, not to be like a feminist here, but typically, hold that thought. I have a sneeze. Oh, God. I don't know what the fuck just happened in my nasal cavity, but something weird. Weird happened. I know. Sorry. Okay, back to my very important thought. Because, not to be a feminist, but like working dads and working moms, that they're one of each in each household. Oh my God. Start again.
Try again.
The dads do fuck all. They go to work and come home.
Wow.
Whereas if the wife is in the same household and she works, well, all the kids stuff, all the house stuff still ends up on your lap.
Yeah.
It's a fact in most marriages, right? So continue on.
So regardless of the fact that we said, look, you're going to help me out more, I'm going to help you out more. And he does. That's fine. He's picked it up. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. At that time, we had this big fight. I had just started working. It was about 3 weeks in. I'm tired, man. And plus, like you said, like when you get PMS, when cyclically, sometimes we're a little bit crazy. Yeah. So I just had a week where I knew the kids were going to go and be with my mum for a couple of nights. And I'm like, oh, yes. In my head, I'm like, this is perfect. I've got a few things to do on Saturday. Sunday, I'm just going to laze. I'm not going to do fucking anything. I'm just going to have a day where I just reset.
And side note, you wanted to reset and do nothing with Henry.
Yeah. Oh,
It wasn't like you were like, oh, fuck off, leave me alone type thing. You want to just chill, maybe go out for breakfast, whatever.
Yes. Like have just a nice, easy day. Plus also remembering what I said initially was like things haven't been getting done. So we let's say the weekend before that, we had a really busy weekend. We just didn't get around to food shopping. Yeah. So it's cute to have those really fun, busy weekends. But if nothing gets done, it all falls on my plate. Like you said, you know what I mean? So now I'm having to go food shopping on a Monday afternoon with, everybody else. It was just getting you're buying food for the day instead of going and doing a big proper shop and thinking about it and actually being able to put time into that part of your life. Yeah. But because I've always done it, it's just like, oh yeah, it'll get done. But it's me. Anyway. So I'm like Sunday, I'm fucking resting. Yeah, I'll go shopping in the morning. I'll do all that. Maybe I'll do that on a Saturday. It doesn't even matter. I didn't really speak to Henry about this. But anyway, we're lying in bed and he says, oh, how about we go to Movie World on Sunday? And my reaction is like, lol. And I was like, no.
Without the kids?
Without the kids. Right? Because then we can go on all the rides. With kids, you can't, the two of you can't go on a roller coaster.
No, of course not.
You know what I mean? So then, and we have those annual passes, so we can go anytime, really. But he was like, why don't we go to Movie World? He was all excited. And he wanted to go fishing on Saturday morning, whatever. And I made some plans on Saturday morning for myself because, you're going fishing. What am I, I'm going to make my own plans. Anyway, I say, yuck, no. My sensories are overloaded. I need
when you want to have a day at home to chill, Dream World is right. Dream World for the
Movie
people,
World, whatever,
over the ocean is a theme park.
It's a theme park.
Yeah.
I don't want to go and be surrounded by millions of screaming people. Yeah. Again, I need a reset. Anyway. So I'm like, oh no, that's not happening. But then he gets all huffy. See, maybe that was in my head because when we finally resolved everything.
No. I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah.
Now I know I'm on your side and I don't have to take sides, but I'm on your side. I should say I understand you the most. Don't backtrack because he would have gotten huffy because that's what started it all, right?
He did get huffy.
Yes. Not saying it's your fault, Henry. I'm just saying he got his back up and he got
his back up.
Upset by that.
And I only say that because obviously once you resolve everything and go back to look at the situation in hindsight, you were like, oh, okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
And again, it's that communication of as soon as he got huffy, immediately I was like, well, fuck you. Because in my head, I had this whole story about it being, needing time, blah, 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 blah. Anyway. So we kind of have a fight. We resolve it, but I wasn't quite happy. Mm-hmm. And then I sit on it. I sit on it for 3 days. I go out with you. We talk about it. I chat in my head. I have these fights with him because, again, if I'm going to have a fight with Henry first, I have to bring it to him very slowly and we have to talk about it very reasonably and logically because he doesn't function any other way. But I'm also at the same time like sick of living my life like that. I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, it's been long enough. I feel like we're now just like scared of me and my moods because we're used to me being anxious. And to be fair, again, when I was anxious, it was just really hard to communicate with me because I was in a ball of anxiety.
Oh, but I don't think it's fair to put it all on you. Like,
no, he definitely needs to
100%. Like,
change the way he,
for sure.
Yeah,
but I don't think don't.
No, I think it's just because I understand why he gets his back up when I do get cranky or anything because it's almost like, no offense, Tom, but it's almost like that same, and this is why it makes me so sad because I'm like, it's the same way that when my dad, when we were younger, he would get really cranky. Immediately, everybody would just leave his area because you don't want to be around him because he's filthy.
Fair enough. I get that.
And I started to create that in my own family because of the way that I was behaving. You know what I mean? And so I get that. So I get that when I get cranky, he starts to get like, oh, well, fuck you. I'm not going to deal with that in that way. You know what I mean? So we need to change that, because he's tiptoeing around me. I'm tiptoeing around him. We're both pent up. We're both anxious. Like, it's not a fun way to be when you guys can't simply resolve something that's should be an easy thing to resolve.
Well, yes, but okay, this is my devil's advocate about this because 2 points. Even before your anxiety, you and Henry never really fought aggressively.
No,
like it was
never.
Always, you were never really, Henry didn't respond to you showing emotion within your opinions and defenses and all that kind of stuff, right? So, but my second point is, and I was saying to you, because Cameron and I are total opposite. Like we get it out.
Yeah.
But I actually think within reason, obviously there's no abuse and there's no like...
You just communicate in that way where it's an openly...
But I think it's actually somewhat therapeutic to be able to get your actual emotions out. Yes, you're going to get angry. Yes, you're going to cry. Yes, you might act like a crazy person. This goes for the men too, like not just for the women. Like, but I think it's actually... not to sound corny, like part of the healing process of getting over the issue and resolving it for yourself. Because like for you, and I'll let you finish the story, but like, Henry kind of felt like it was resolved, but you were still so worked up because you didn't actually get to say what you wanted to say and how you wanted to portray it, right? Yeah. So you were still fuming. Yeah. like we went out the one night and you were still fuming.
And we couldn't talk about it in the car because the camera has a recording. And it was
we were yakking about it and then we're like, oh, wait a second. Does Henry listen? Because your car video. Anyway,
so we stopped, dropped and rolled.
Yeah, so you went home.
I went home. I agree with that. And so that night that you and I talked about it, I went home and he tried to talk to me about it and I just went into this whole, well, this is how I've been feeling and this is what's been happening and blah, blah, blah. Because I totally agree with what you said. It's good for us to be able to have reasonable conversations and like work out our fights in a reasonable manner. But when you're not allowed to actually express how you feel, like it's sometimes like to me, it's not a thing about like logistics. So it's not like, hey, this is the problem and this is how I want to resolve it. It's like, I'm feeling it. Yeah. So there's no way for me to explain to him in a logical manner why I'm upset, you know, because he was like, but I thought we already worked this out. We talked about it on Monday. So what's the problem? And I'm like, but I walked away not feeling right about it. And that's the part he didn't understand because to him, it's like, what are emotions? What is that? Like, what is that? How come you're feeling that? So anyway, this goes on and we end up in one of those screaming matches that was so cathartic. Like in the moment, it was the worst thing. When you have those matches with your partner or whatever, where you're both crying. And I was literally at one point, I was like, please just stop because I cannot, like I was so tired. We had a really long night. I had a headache when we were even out, you know, so it wasn't even like a good time to bring it up. Yeah. But we had one of those really massive fights that I think is such a like life or like relationship, could be a relationship breakup, but this to me was like a relationship healer in a sense because
that's what I mean. Exactly.
Like you said, because he started to say stuff and he goes on this random tangent that has nothing to do with the actual point at hand. And that was a moment for me to be like, no, because I'm such a pushover. I'm really easily pushed over by big personalities like my sweet Lenny and like my husband. So I'm a pushover, and to be honest, like if it's more important to you, then I'm not going to argue you, like whatever. Like if that's how you want to roll it, like I'm so easygoing, like that's it's fine. But this was a time where I'm like, no.
Fuck you. I ain't rolling over this time.
I'm not rolling over. I couldn't fucking do it.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I even said to him, like, if I'm constantly pent up and you're constantly pent up and you're not allowed to tell me when you're angry and I'm not allowed to tell you when I'm angry because you don't like anger and you don't like that emotion, well, then how the fuck are we going to live the rest of our lives?
And do you know what? That is a recipe for disaster.
That's a recipe.
That is 100% where you would end up. You would end up hating each other and resenting each other. He might not towards you, but you definitely would towards him. And
Absolutely,
you would have
because I don't know how to say to him, I'm upset, not because you did this then and you were supposed to do this. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with the situation that we're upset about. It's literally how I feel.
Yeah. And you would have all that emotion built up in you. And
now I don't have it anymore. So now it's almost been like, even just some simple conversations, I feel like he'll say something or roll his eyes or something and I'll be like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So it's important to say I feel straight away, because if it is something that's, let's use that buzzword, triggered me, like, why has it triggered me? Or if it's something that you just walked away and like got cranky with, like, why are you cranky with that? Like, we have to kind of work out now what's actually worth getting cranky over, or what story I'm making up in my head that's like this big problem.
I think you're over. I think you're making it complicated.
Well, it's complicated because we literally we have to relearn how to communicate. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
So for couples who are, we will get to actual marriage advice, you guys. And this is kind of it, because for couples who are, 26 minutes in. For couples
Billy always tells me, don't talk too much, Billy or Lindsay. We don't want to have a long episode. And
shut up. I'm speaking. I'm pouring my heart out. You're my people.
Keep pouring. I'm happy.
I just think you can have, obviously relationships change over time, right? Like, if you've been with someone for a really long time, it's really hard when you've got a set way of dealing with certain things, or a set way of thinking about something a certain way. So actually, and that's what I was saying about my anxiety. It's like actually breaking down within myself those things, like, how can I be like, if I'm not confident in myself and I don't know how to explain to you how I'm feeling, even with you or with whatever, anyone, then how can I like effectively communicate with people? I literally have to relearn how to communicate with my husband again. And when we started doing that, and honestly, like, the love languages helped by just establishing how he wants to be communicated with and how I want that, we've started to then have some of these fights and like relearn how to be able to like effectively fix these things within ourselves and within our marriage. Did anybody get that?
Oh, I got it.
Right? Thank you.
I was going to make a really smart ass comment, but then I was like, that's not needed, Lindsay. Be nice. Be better.
Nice.
Don't be a dick.
You see, in a marriage, you have to be good to each other.
No, I think it's not rocket science. Like, as in, I think you need to respect your partner's emotions and feelings about a certain situation, even if you don't agree with them or see their point of view, right? Like, it doesn't mean that you're right, you're wrong, and, oh, Henry, well, you're stupid for wanting to go to Dreamworld. Well, babe, thanks, but I don't want to go. And he should be like, okay, well, cool, I get that. We'll do something else. Done and dusted, right? That's in a perfect world. Marriage is not perfect.
Marriage is not perfect, and it depends on what mood I'm in when he says something like that. Or an eye roll to me could be like an entire situation when he's just like, ugh, whatever, and he moves on in a second.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard. Pause for a second, because I think if Mallee Estate is still here.
Oh, Mallee Estate.
Hi. We haven't gotten to we don't want to give any spoiler alerts. We haven't gotten to the point where we are telling the people how we feel about the wine. But if you're here, fuck, it's delicious.
Oh. Yeah,
no, I don't. Well, it's a podcast. I can delete it.
I know.
So
Mallee Estate. So impressive.
So impressive.
So impressive. Stop copying me.
Stop copying me.
Can I
Anyway, that was my marriage story, but we do have some other.
Do we?
I thought you
No, I do.
I was like, what? We talked about this before. Don't embarrass me.
I have a whole list, but I just
Honey, don't embarrass me, okay?
Right? I know. This is my, work marriage.
Yes.
And
life marriage.
Yeah.
Also.
I like our marriage better because I don't have to have sex with you.
Right? I've been enjoying sex lately, Lindsay.
This is my, good on you.
Thanks.
Oh, good girl. This is a leadway into, I keep saying to Cameron, it's about sex. It's a leadway into sex.
Leadway,
okay.
Right.
I keep saying to Cameron, like in a joking manner, and I'll lead up with like, Cameron and I don't have sex heaps. Once a week. We get it done.
I'm sorry, but after 17 years, once a week is pretty fucking good. Is it? I don't know.
I guess it depends on who you ask, because I know people that have sex a lot more than that.
Well, they can suck it.
We average once a week, sometimes even we miss a week because obviously with my cycle and stuff. But so anyways, okay. So Cameron makes this funny ass, he thinks he's being funny, this comment about like, no, actually I'll backtrack. So we have sex a couple times where I'm just like, get it over with. Do your thing. Do your thing, get it over with. Yeah. And then we go to have sex the next time and he goes, oh, like, do you think he can kind of get into it? And I'm like, bitch, please. You are lucky I'm opening my legs for you. I do not need to open my legs for you. If I want to starfish, I'm going to starfish. And I go through this whole thing like, I love you, babe. I don't want to have sex as much as you do, but I love you. You're my husband. I know that you want to have sex.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be a nice wife and open my legs for you. And if that's all that you get from me, that's all you get from me, right? It wasn't a fight, but it was like a funny little bantering back and forth. Yeah. So my advice to you, fine wives and husbands and partners out there, if your partner is just going to open their legs for you, just take it. Take it. Don't complain. Don't make stupid comments. Because what annoys me about when Cameron makes comments like that, it's never enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. Right? And like that, it plays on you. It's like, well, fuck you then. If that's, you're not going to get anything then.
Oh God, I constantly feel like that. But the thing, it's never enough. And I think this is half of the fight as well, because I was saying, you know, like, I've been trying really hard to enjoy sex, not for him.
I love it. For you, because it would make our world so much better.
Because honestly, it makes my world so much better when I'm actually enjoying what's happening. And I want to enter into sex with an open mind and like a full heart and a wet vagina. Like, right? We all want that. Sometimes. Obviously, that doesn't happen.
Just add lube if you need to, but it does help you.
Coconut oil is also a really good option.
Ew, I don't get the
because then it's delicious and
nutritious, talking,
and
gross,
slippery. So I just think that personally, like for wives out there, my advice is actually do whatever you can to like enjoy it.
Oh,
if you need to have an orgy in your head like I did back in episode 16 in season 1, you do you, babe. If you need to pretend there's a bunch of people following you, if that's what you're into, following you, watching you. Why are there people following you while you're having sex? That's weird.
I don't know. Where are you having sex? Like
I mean, this is a random segue to marriage advice, but like literally it would be to do whatever you can to actually, because otherwise it's going to be taxing.
Yeah, but the thing is sometimes it's impossible. Sometimes for people like me.
I get it. That's because you're OCD. You have so many things in your head.
Well, yeah, or I'm tired. Like 99% of the time I am just tired. So, but you're right. Like obviously if you enjoy it, like the other night, I'm like, okay, fine. Let's get this. Let's tick it off the list, right?
You say that in your head, but not to him, right? Like, do you?
Oh no, I say it to him as a joke. Come on, let's tick it off the list.
Oh, that must turn Cameron on so good.
Yeah, well, it's a running joke now, and he's like, oh fucking hell. But it actually turned out to be a little surprise. I was like, oh wait, I think I might finish myself off. Not me physically, like
right. I'm like, Lenny, he's there for you. Like,
no, like right. We don't need details, please. It's still early in the morning.
How many fingers did you use? I don't understand.
No,
I know.
Stop.
Marriage
You're gonna make me blush.
People need to know.
Anyways,
what kind of lubricant did you use? How many offices were filled? That's all I need to know.
Oh, yuck. Anyways, stop. It was a pleasant little surprise, and he's like, "Oh, babe, that was a little surprise," and it does. Everybody, it's a win-win situation, right? And they get, they feel like they've mastered the world when their wife has done
put
stuff.
Out happily.
Anyways,
but I also do want to say that I agree that you're right with the whole like it's never enough, because I feel like when you have okay, fine, it's never enough when we just open our legs. Yeah. So we enjoy it. Yeah. And then they enjoy it and they're like, oh, well, can we have it more than once a week? And then you have to do that. And then it's like, oh, well, can we, try some lingerie? And then you fucking put that on. And it's like, what about a gag? And then you fucking put the gag on,
Okay, too much information.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like it never, I feel like there's just situations that never seems to be enough.
Totally.
The more you give, it's like the more they take. So it's like, fucking Jesus. That's the shit that like really annoys me. It's like, that's the stuff I have to come, like I'll give you as far as I'm happy to give you. But at this stage, you are just being fucking greedy.
And the advice is don't be greedy.
Is this a marriage advice episode or is this just being mean to our husbands? I don't know.
No, it's not. It's hell. It's marriage. It's marriage. Okay. Okay. Speaking about being in bed. Okay. I actually really try. No, I don't try. But this whole thing about going to sleep angry, I can't do it.
You can't go to sleep angry?
No, I can. I can't not go to sleep.
That
not
kind of
angry.
infuriates me because Henry can also go to sleep angry, and I hate that.
Oh, see,
I hate going to sleep angry. I said,
What?
Sarah. Oh, is this Sarah? Hi, Sarah from Wine Ballet.
We were literally just talking
were
about you this morning.
Girl, you're in
I
our
feel so
mind.
seen, right? About the starfishing or about not going?
About all of it.
going to bed.
About all of it.
Look, I envy the people, the couples, not just one, the couples that can resolve their issues before they fall asleep.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people. I hold grudges. I look at the back of his head going, I just want to fucking punch you. Like, you've made me so angry today. And I just, hey, Sarah, I really want to be a better person, but I cannot let go of my grudge.
I hate those fucking people who are like, don't go to bed angry with your partner. That's your life advice. Bitch, I've been with my husband for 17 years. And he still goes to bed angry all the time and we're still together.
Yeah.
But I hate it.
So wait, he can go to bed angry, but you don't like
Henry
it?
can go to bed
Yeah.
in the middle of a fucking tornado. That motherfucker will fall asleep in anything. He does not care that I'm crying over there. He doesn't he doesn't. We've literally had those fights where we were in bed and I think we're having a meaningful pause and he starts snoring. Like, do you know what I mean? So I'm sitting here being like, who's going to speak first? And you know, like, it's not going to be him because he's fallen asleep. Lindsay's about to burst her. Yeah, you see? So I'm like, hi, Mrs. Cole.
Hi, Mrs. Cole.
Hi, Nairi. It's Nairi.
Is that a teacher?
No. Well, I know. Nairi, your Insta handle always confuses Lindsay. She's one of the beautiful, lovely mums at school.
Oh, right.
I see
Okay.
every morning.
I wasn't far off. Teacher.
Okay. Anyway, that motherfucker can fall asleep through anything. And so when I'm the one who's upset, I hate going to sleep knowing that there's a problem that I have to then resolve tomorrow. Like, it just plays on my mind. And again, people with anxiety, we don't fucking like falling asleep when there's like a big thing hanging over my head because it makes me feel like I have to talk myself down of, this is not the end of your marriage. It's not the end of the world. You need to chill out because that's where you go. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
So when yes, that's why people
just
say you can't go to sleep angry because you go angry in the sense that you're like, fuck you,
I just want to punch him in the nutsack.
But people who are like me and who are like that, like in that kind of deep emotional turmoil, it takes me to a place that's like really hard for me to literally fall asleep. So I hate going to sleep angry. Thanks, Lenny. That's why you shouldn't be mean to me. And so it was really good to have that screaming match the other night because I'm like, fine, you know what? I don't want to have this fight right now. I'd rather go to sleep. Don't fuck with my calls. But
no, I was fixing it because
I
messed it up. I was like, oh God, she's on a roll. I'll be okay. Go.
Anyway, so I'm glad that we didn't end up going to sleep on that one, even though I really wanted to at that point because I was quite literally passing out from tiredness. But the next morning we woke up and we were lovey-dovey and everything was sweet. What happens when you wake up in the morning and you guys go to sleep angry?
Oh, I'm still holding on to my grudge. But Cameron is acting like life has moved on. He doesn't hold grudges at all. Where I'm like, bitch, you have not apologized to me. You have not explained your stupid actions. I need closure. And of course, I'm always in the right. Like, he's the one that needs to apologize.
I think that's another thing Henry said to me. And that's because and I don't know if he's right or wrong because I get him from
He's wrong.
He's wrong.
No.
I get he's wrong. Because it's Lindsay and me, right? And like girlfriends in general. And, you know, we talk about this so much and we get to a point where we're like, yeah, we're right.
Yeah.
You know,
fuck
but then
you, men.
Oh, right. Yeah. And then he goes to me like, why am I the only one, like always the one apologizing? Like, you're always getting angry at me and then I'm always apologizing. And I'm like, because you're doing dumb stuff.
Yeah,
Stop doing dumb stuff. But I don't think that, like, he doesn't get angry at me at the dumb stuff I do, and I do a lot of dumb stuff.
Oh, double standard, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? I do so much dumb shit, and he never gets angry at me. But then he doesn't, like, do the laundry right, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You know, 100%. So it's like, he can't. 100%. I get what he's saying too, is like, don't make me always to be the apologizer and the bad guy, and we're always in this, constantly in the situation where I feel this way, and I'm like, really? Do you feel that way? Because I feel like I'm such a perfect wife.
Yeah. What is wrong with you for feeling that way? Stop being so stupid.
Yeah, stop being so soft.
I am perfect. You were wrong.
You know, but when I'm like, I think you need to sometimes step into the shoes of your husband too, or partner, whatever.
So hard.
It is hard. It
so
is
hard.
But
I do get it. And I am the first one to admit there's a lot of double standards. So advice to the wives that are like Billy and I, try to ease up on the double standards. Don't know
because he tries to also the sex thing, like you said, he tries to put that into some sort of perspective for me, which never works because then it just makes me angry.
Do you know what? It doesn't work out all the time, obviously, because they're at work and all that stuff. But if and when we can, day sex is such a win.
Yes.
Because obviously,
Quiche.
what? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You and the lasagna
Yes,
thing.
yes.
Were we talking about? That sounds really
know.
weird. Yeah.
You're
Quiche
a long time
lasagna.
listener. They're sex terms, okay?
Oh, God,
A quiche
anyways.
is a quickie. A lasagna is a fully.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't have lasagna in the day when you've got
No.
kids around.
No.
I like the quickies during the day because I'm awake. I don't want to go to sleep.
Yes.
And it has to be quick because there's kids and life around, but you take it off the list. And like, quickies in the bathroom when you lock the door. It's kind of like, ooh, not dangerous, but like, risque.
Here's a real tip. Make sure he comes because otherwise he'll keep like annoying you for the rest of the day.
What's the point of
I don't know. I'm just saying there's been times as well when I've had a little quickie and we didn't have time to finish. And then he just keeps hassling me for the rest of the day, week, whatever, month.
Okay.
Don't. Make sure he finishes. You don't have to finish. We don't really care.
Yeah, we don't know.
don't care.
Don't worry about me.
Don't worry about me.
Just
Just
no.
do
I mean,
you.
that's a bonus.
Absolutely. I want to
But,
enjoy it too. But when I'm up against the bathroom wall and, it's not going to happen.
Do you ever think?
Go on,
I'm
Lindy.
go there. No,
say it. I wanna know.
how you normally, like if you're in the bathroom, I don't know how your bathroom is set up with the mirror. I can't remember. I think it
There's
might
lots
be
of
higher.
stuff on the floor.
Yeah. And in the drains and your hair is on the wall, shower walls. Another episode to listen to. I always think if I'm sitting on the counter because we have a big mirror. Oh, although no, the mirror might be too high. I don't like the thought of like what my bum looks like because all the dimples, you're sitting on your butt and the pressure, all those dimples that would be out.
Here is some real marriage advice for you. Okay, here it is. Are you ready? Are you listening? It's going to be a big one. Men do not fucking care.
Of course not. I don't care that they don't care. I care.
Why would you care about that? He would be so stoked to see any part of you naked that he couldn't care less what you think your dimples look like. He's just trying to find a hole to put his dick in. So
Well,
he's
he
just
can find my hole. I've had 3 kids. It's big enough.
I don't know where it is,
Jesus.
Lindsay. I don't know what that looks like down there.
Where
I'm
is
just
your
saying
hole? Yeah.
it's a little bit to the left of
know.
where the usual ones are. There's a little tip for you. So men don't care. Just get it off anyway. They'll be happy.
Okay,
we have
this
any-
is-
look,
I
we've
do.
been-
No. This is very important, Billy. Fuck you with your stupid time.
Lindsay, we've run out of
thing.
time.
No,
I had a big
because-
story.
Yeah. Well, too bad. Okay, this is a little piece of advice. And I think it's something, well, not I think. This is something how, let's start again. Cameron and I love how our marriage, we do not have to ask permission to go out. Yes, you have to be like, oh, hey, babe, I want to go out with Billy on Thursday night. Do you have anything on? Or are you going to be working late? Or can you make sure you can get home?
That's informing.
Exactly. I actually think it's not healthy. And again, this is just my thought process. Hate me, so whatever you want to think.
You can definitely hate her.
Yeah. I actually think it's detrimental to a relationship where you have to be like, oh, hey, babe, can I go out with Billy? And you actually have to get permission.
Yeah.
We have a couple, like as a husband and wife friends.
You know real people.
Yeah. Well, there's lots
Like
of real
with this
people.
situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where the dude will say, oh, yeah, obviously I won't say her name, has said it's cool for me to go to such and such or to do this, whatever. And I'm like mind blown because I'm like, Cameron, if I had to ask for your permission to go out, like for me, it just wouldn't, it would not jive.
Well, I'm not your
well
fucking
with me.
slave.
Yeah,
I'm not you don't own me.
And the thing is, like, obviously with a family, especially when you've got young kids, you have to run it by them and like you have to be courtesy.
Absolutely. Well, it's not a code, but it's actually planning your lives. Like,
Yeah.
this is what you're doing this week. This is what I'm doing this week. Like, you need to talk about it. It's as simple as so you can organize yourselves.
And it's being polite enough to the other one, like to be like, hey, babe, are you cool to make sure you don't make plans at night? And,
Yes, of course.
look after the children. And it's not like I live a very social life. I'm either going
Yeah,
out with Billy or
we go out twice a month. Let's face it.
I know,
If that's
right?
crazy.
But I just think if you have a relationship where you feel like you have to ask permission, I don't know. I just think it could cause issues and be detrimental and make the other person feel a little bit belittled when it's always the one side.
I just think if you start like that as well and always act that way, I agree. That's a terrible thing to do.
Are
we reading comments?
Yeah, but can I just say, especially when it's a guy being pussy whipped?
Oh, you don't like pussy whipped men?
No, I don't. I find it very not nice and unattractive. Good thing I'm married and I'm not looking for a new husband. But I just think it's so belittling
No, I
to the
agree. You
men.
shouldn't. And this goes back to my original point because I'm so smart.
This is my piece of advice.
No, this is my story. I'm telling you.
Okay.
No, I think it comes back to something I've forgotten all completely. I just want to read this one comment about the day sex as well that we've got from my lovely friend Nairi. We wait until the kids are in the bath.
Brilliant.
To have a quickie, a quiche.
A quiche, not a lasagna.
Hilarious.
But what about like when your kids get to be the age that
when they're old enough,
like,
we have no idea.
Get out.
She's got an older kid. Her older kid is probably like Bane, like same age. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Put some thumbtacks down so they like don't get out of the bath. So then you've got a moment to yourselves, and then when you're finished, you come back and remove the thumbtacks, and they can leave the bath. Essentially, you're prisoning them
honestly don't understand what goes through your mind sometimes.
Lots thumbtacks.
A lot of stupid shit.
No, what my original point was, what were we talking about? I can't remember. Essentially, it was something along the lines of, like, once you
don't
get stuck in
pussy
these...
whipped.
Well, don't be pussy whipped, but also once you get stuck in these, like, once you kind of set a way of communicating, then it's really hard to break out of it. So, like, do it right the first time. Like, if you don't have to ask for permission. You're not owned. Like,
exactly.
You know, don't, like, fall into these stereotypical traditional relationship roles where you have to ask him for permission to use money and do this and that. Bitch, you are doing enough to be owning that money. You like,
but I'm actually taking the husband side right here. Don't be pussy whipped. Like, I'm giving the men advice and the women advice. Don't be bitches. Don't be controlling little hoe bags where it's like, you know, your husband has to ask you to have, like, to go out to get permission. Obviously, as a husband, you don't just go out willy-nilly and like 5 times a week and stuff like that.
But do you think he has to get permission because he's done crazy shit when he's gone out?
No. Oh, no, not in this situation. No.
Right.
It's just like, hey, honey, can I go play with my friends?
Oh, for God's sake.
You know, anyways.
Grow up here.
Let's talk about the wine. And then we received a couple really good like pieces of advice from our...
Excellent. I mean, what can I say about this wine except it's gone? I drank it all.
You have a sip left.
Fine.
Okay. So pepperminty. Oh, Billy.
Just the last little bit. It was delicious. Look... Am I coming away from it with a pepperminty flavor in my mouth? No, I haven't really thought about it much more after you said it before. So I didn't. No, like it didn't. That's not the thing that I guess grabs me.
Yep.
But that first sip, pretty much till that last little drip.
Yeah.
From the first sip to the last drip.
Oh, I actually tuned you out. I thought I heard a kid. I'm like, what is that noise? But it's my dog.
Do you mind?
Sorry.
Let me do that again for the people who aren't paying attention. From the first sip to the last drip, this was motherfucking delicious. There's my review. It was delicious. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, there was something
I'm
like
playing
fruity
magical
but
music.
dry.
Shh, I'm playing magical music, Billy.
It's
Oh, well, it'll be in the
it's
recording.
Fine. Yeah, brilliant. I don't know. Like, there was definitely like a bit of a fruitiness to it, but it's really dry as well. So yum. You go.
Do you know what? Okay, so I don't know. Again, I probably wouldn't have tasted it if I didn't read it off the bottle. All I can picture, because I'm going home for Christmas in Canada, so all I can taste, this is so cheesy, I can't even believe I'm going to say it. I just taste Christmas. I know it sounds so stupid. Like candy canes.
I wanted you to say it, but now I'm like, stop
and
talking.
like in front of a fire, like cold weather, and like it makes me happy. It is happiness in a glass. I don't know. It sounds so stupid. I know. I'm so sorry, Mallee. I'm not giving the...
No, you're doing good. You keep going. No, but that's what even makes me more impressed because again, you guys, the 2013, I don't know if it's all the years and all the grapes, but this was honestly a really good bottle of wine. It was really, really delicious. Did we decide who's taking this one? No, you're taking this one, aren't you?
I get this one.
Yes, that's right.
Back off.
Well, you know what? You can taste Christmas for the rest of the week. I don't mind.
I know.
Fun for me.
Seriously, it's happiness to me. It just tastes like happiness.
Beautiful, Lenny.
Okay. Speaking of happiness.
Let's do the,
I'm so sorry,
Speaking
Mallee,
of happiness, let us fix your marriage.
Yeah. I absolutely loved this from my lovely friend. Let me get my knob up.
Do you know what's happening now is that we're using my phone to record and Lindsay now has
right.
to be the person who tells us all these things. So
like,
let's see how Lenny goes with all our responses and whatnot.
Down. It's right here.
Tell us, Lenny.
This is amazing. So Amelia, my dear friend, had said this, and I 100% agree with this.
Okay.
There are times you're going to hate each other, and that's okay. K.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. 1,000 times yes.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant because it's
Yes.
actually true. And I think it's healthy because like you annoy the fuck out of me sometimes. I annoy the fuck out of you sometimes. But
Never.
I mean,
A lot. Yeah. It happens.
but it doesn't mean that you don't love each other. Like
Totally.
it's
Totally.
human to get annoyed and to be bothered, right?
In fact, I think that if you aren't annoyed and bothered, you're so passive about it, then do you even
Yeah.
care? Like, what's the
Yeah.
point? Like, sometimes you have to have those fights. This is what I'm,
Yeah.
like, you know, pretty much how we started. Like, yelling at each other
Exactly.
was cathartic. Like, you
Right?
need to have those times where, like, I didn't like him in that moment.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hang out with him. I wanted to fucking be outside
Yeah.
doing anything else. I would have hung out with Lindsay in that moment if it, you know. That's how
So
much I
kind.
love her too.
Okay.
No, but I think that's actually a really solid point. Yes.
I do too. And when she sent that through, I'm like, it's so right. It's such a no-brainer, but it's so right. The biggest thing, not that you're going to hate each other because everybody I think knows that.
Yeah.
But knowing that it's okay to
Yes.
not like your partner at a specific time.
Yes.
You know, if it goes on for a long period of time, you might want to go to counseling.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Counselling, there's an advice.
Yeah.
Do
Right?
your marriage counselling.
Have
Have you ever gone to marriage counselling?
No, I'm
No,
perfect. Why
no,
do I need
yeah,
to go?
I'm also
God,
perfect.
God. Matt from Wine Review Simple.
I love this response. I saw this.
Matt. Quote unquote. Yes, darling, you are correct. Right now, that is a happy marriage. His wife is lucky.
Now that is a man in a long-term marriage who knows where it's at. That's right.
I mean,
Which is so mean. Again, like men shouldn't be like. I mean, I know he's just appeasing his
being,
wife,
He's being silly.
Yeah,
he's being silly. Yeah.
But also, it's like kind of good advice, and it's something that happy wife, happy life, all that sort of stuff. Like I get it. It just we could be nicer too.
Oh, we're bitches.
We are so mean.
Oh.
Wives are so mean. Are you kidding?
100%. And it's 100% double standard. I'm going to leave you with this little, because Billy's probably like,
Hurry up.
yeah, about the double standard. So the other night Cameron came home and he was in a bad mood. Why? I don't know. For God's sake.
He has this amazing life. What's the problem?
Exactly. He was in a bad mood and it actually irked me. So I kept trying to like talk to him and like get him out of the mood, and he was not budging. Like he was just in a bad mood.
So instead of leaving him alone, we get angry and fight.
No, I didn't fight, and I did leave him alone, but it made me angry. I'm like, bitch, please, why are you in a bad mood? So then he ended up saying, he asked me something and I like snapped back at him, and he made a comment like, oh, I didn't realize my bad mood would rub off on you. I'm like, well, why wouldn't you think that? And then I'm like, oh my God, this poor man, like the amount of bad moods he has had to deal with. And
Honestly,
he never lets it faze him.
When I talk to you, sometimes it's like listening to me and Henry, but in reverse.
Sure.
Because it's the same thing. Sometimes I'll get cranky and then he gets cranky for me, at me for being cranky. And it's like, how am I the mood decider for this entire motherfucking place? Like, if I'm cranky, just let me be. Why do you need to get angry at me for it? Move on with your life. Leave me alone and I'll come back and apologize later.
But do you apologize?
No, don't be ridiculous.
Ew. Who apologizes?
God, I'm a woman. I don't need to apologize for shit.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I'm hungry.
Rappity rap. Thank you so very much for joining us for this really advicey episode.
Enjoy your happy marriages now that we've made it
fixed them.
perfect.
Right? Enjoy. Like Lindsay said, and I like to repeat, it's just part of our marriage.
Right? I know. We did actually have some legit
No, forget it. It was
medical. No, I know. Stop talking and let me
Forget
talk. Marriage advice number 101. Let the other person talk. Jesus, we were going to give you some proper advice, but we don't have time for that. Go Google them.
It's true. We came up with a couple articles. It wasn't.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye. Find us, please, on our socials. Obviously, we're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn. I don't know.
Wherever.
Find us. YouTube, of course. Find
Google us.
Google us. Very good, Lenny. You can also listen. Is that what I say? You can listen to us places? No, you're already listening. That's it. Let's do it, Lenny.
Chat soon. Why do you have to talk with your hands though? I don't get it.
It's just the way my body moves.